All right, we'll record this. Hey, what's going on, Libra? So, I already got a message. Check out Virgo's reading. Y'all readings are connected somehow, some way. I don't know how yet, because I ain't start your reading yet. So Virgo had Ask Your Soul, right? And they had me just keep on talking and talking and talking after the camera was off. And it brought up the fact of, because we talked about a lot about breaking the chains of bondage, of enslavement, especially for those in the U.S., and how important that is, and knowing that you are the generational curse breaker, because it's not the fact that, oh, your family was cursed and our ancestors were slaves for a reason. No, it was the point of being able to break out of what was allowed to enslave our ancestors, our elders in the first place. You know, that mental bondage, that emotional bondage, that spiritual bondage, that physical bondage, you know, the cultural bondage, and being able, but then also still knowing that you had that resilience, because these people had everything taken away from them, yet they were so dang on resilient that they created their own stuff, because they were put in a place where they couldn't bring anything from their homeland over there, because it was literally a death sentence. And yeah, some people still chose to do it, because yeah, some people were called to fight and leave out the earth that way. But then there was others that was like, okay, I have to sacrifice and give up all this up, otherwise, you know, the kids that I did bear. And most of them, yeah, most people were raped, because most women did not have the choice, or men had the choice to be able to, whether they wanted to have kids or not. Because most slaves did not want to have children. They're like, I don't want to bring a child into this nonsense. What are you talking about? No, let all that stuff die with us. And they would have been perfectly fine doing that. But who's going to be here? But babies were born, you know, because we were considered livestock. And then if you let, you know, everything just die off, now you got to go repurchase more constantly, and that's just, no, they wanted ones that were going to know from birth, like, hey, you're a slave, and this is the norm, not people that had already knew freedom, right? So with that being said, it was being able to block that, and they took that, and we come from very strong men and women to have gone through the generations of slavery, then segregation, and now this nonsense is going on in the world. Like, we come from some very strong and powerful people, because the things that they had to sacrifice, people nowadays would not, they would be like, no, but they know they can't kill us off. It's illegal now. But back then, they knew that was a sacrifice. So some of them, that was their calling, was to do that. Others, okay, well, somebody's going to have to teach these babies to know, like, hey, you are not a slave. Yes, you were born into slavery, but you're not a slave. And that's the same way, you know, with the Pharaoh, with the Israelites. And Moses come back like, hey, let my people go. What is you doing? You know, some of them, they knew freedom. Others, they knew, like, we not slaves. What is going on here? You know, so the question that was asked later on was because it was Ask Your Soul, right? Was the soul, because if you notice, a lot of people are not going to church. They don't want to read the Bible, and they don't believe. Why? Because a lot of, especially the youth, they're asking questions. They're asking the questions that, you know, even some of us, look, I used to get kicked out of junior church for asking questions like this. So I get it. And it's a very valid question. Why would I go to church and read from a Bible and be taught to believe in something that literally was used to keep my elders captive? And that is a very valid question. Why? Why? So that you can know how they did, so that it does not repeat, so it does not happen to you on an individual basis. Because let's face it, that is still going on right now, especially in the United States, especially with the political powers. They're doing just that, using those same scriptures in such a, it showed how someone could take something so holy. Like, we could say, for all we knew, tarot cards Because it's not the cards that do anything. The cards is just pictures on paper. But the people behind it, people can take something, they can take something so holy and special and use it in such a negative, ugly, condescending, vicious, and inhumane way. Nothing is off limits. So that's why it's still important to be able to go and reconnect, but just develop that. Look, I went to a church and I was taught that, don't take my word for it. My pastor used to say that all the time. Develop your own personal relationship with God. Because he's like, for right now, you might be called to, be in this church, but later on, you might outgrow this and you're being called to go somewhere else. Because that's where you need to go for your next part of development. And like, yo, I love the church I grew up in. But that's the main reason why. So you can see how something so beautiful can be used in such a corrupt way. So that you can, really see and get that personal development and that personal relationship for yourself. So that you can have that discernment to know, like, hey, man, you twisting that a whole other direction. You're using that to go against, to condemn someone, to judge someone, to literally curse someone, to keep someone back and held back, and you don't do that. And so that you can be able to call that out. All right. So, and I digress. I'm getting out the pulpit for now. All right, Father, Mother, God. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Yo, Lord. Father, Mother, God, thank you for guiding us and protecting us and being with us. Thank you for allowing our spiritual team that you have assigned to us of the light and the light only to be able to come through as well and protect us as we reveal, bind, rebuke, and destroy all demonic and negative energies, entities, and auras in all dimensions and all realms and all realities and all aspects of life for the highest good of all in life, light, love, divinity, purity, prosperity, and protection for the generations of the past, present, and the future. Amen and Ashe. All right, so Virgo, what is the old? Look, see how easily they came out? They really had me go through all of that. Manifestation. It makes sense. It goes together. So you got manifestation. You are the generation that is here to manifest and bring forth these changes. For real. So yes, it's very important for you to do that. And for you to be able to manifest in the first place. Look, this card literally says, as above, so below. Like God's will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's what as above, so below means. Like how what it is up there. Oh, it's eventually going to rain on down here. Melodies from heaven. But it's for you to be able to really reflect through those changes that are taking place in the world, taking place in your society, taking place in within you, to have that spiritual completion that you do have, to create new earth. Because earth now was created, the physical earth was created in what? 7 days. And this is card 25, 7. They'd be able to birth new earth. But you need to be able to be at that 7 to bring forth that in a very balanced way. Okay, so we have death. Okay, this card don't know whether it wants to be. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. You see, I'm turning it back to where it was. Oh, so we have Temperance. Temperance is the first card out, followed by Death in reverse. Because you're moving in a very balanced way towards this manifestation. They did not want new earth. They wanted it to die off. They do not want this rebirth and change to happen and take place. They literally wanted it to die off. They wanted it to die off with you. They wanted you to still be in a state of worry and fear and keep it staying up at night with the 9 of Swords. So, because you have Temperance, Death in reverse. They wanted you still in bondage. And y'all in Libra, look, y'all the zodiac sign of balance, balancing the scales. Balance is coming. Manifestation, balancing them scales right on out with the Two of Wands. Balance, duality. Once again, for duality for your masculine, for your divine masculine and your divine feminine internally. And you're even gonna have those that come out to go. You're even gonna have those that come and have, you know, an external divine feminine and masculine in a relationship, and it's gonna lead you to the Ace of Wands. Why is the wheel here in reverse? Because they know this new earth, this new beginning is gonna lead you to the ace of coins, Lord, the Ace of Wands. It's gonna lead you to the Ace of Coins, and it's gonna lead you to the Ace of Coins because it's meant to happen, and they want the wheel to stop. They want the wheel to stop. And even once you do get to a certain point within your growth and you feel like you are at the Ace of Coins and you have everything, things are going to slow down and come to a standstill because there's more for you to know. We all going to have that little ego trip. It's not an unhealthy ego trip. It's knowing everything that you need to know right then and there in that minute. Because later on you find out, oh, there was more to that. So no, it's a good, healthy, it's being able to celebrate yourself and celebrate the things that you have accomplished, the change that you have broken, the realizations that you have done, that you have had come to you. Being able to develop that connection with a higher belief, looking beyond what idiots do, because they were idiots. They take something so beautiful and just contort it into something so malicious. And that's going to bring out what? The Eight of Swords in reverse. Like, this is a bubble we get ready to pop on the swords. You know a bubble ain't going to last on the swords. But no, know that you are safe. You are in a sphere with the full circumference of protection around you. You don't even have a fear. And then even if you look at it this way, like, she ain't even worried about what's going on. They're not worried about it. Not worried about it at all. Not worried about it at all. And everything that's coming down, I'm seeing this card a whole different light. Everything that's coming down is as above, so below. So everything that is coming down, knowing that it is protected by the divine. And then you have justice after that with the world. Justice. Justice is coming on a global scale. Like literally New World Order type stuff. The Seven of Pentacles. 7, 7, 7, 7 again. The Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles. Justice, the world. Seven of Pentacles. The Four of Coins in reverse. So they keeping things that weren't theirs. Taking things, because that's what they did by changing, you know, and manipulating through that way. They was keeping something that was not theirs for them to keep. It's not yours. It's not your word. What are you doing? It's not for you to do that. It's not yours. It's for the world and for helping humanity. And then you went into hermit mode to really be able to see all this and collect all of this and really have that insight so that you can move in a very balanced Librarian way. Mind you, Libra, it's not just your sun, moon, and rising. It could be any placement of anything in your chart connecting anything. And it's going to send them into a hermit mode too as well to really deep dive and be like, man, what has the world come to? Man, what did my ancestors do? Man, what did I do when I did have the power to be able to change something? And why did I, you know, what made me slip? What made me fall off track and lose myself and lose my integrity? Because let's be honest, a lot of people, most people don't get into politics to be corrupt. They end up getting corrupted when they embark on it. But you got to have that strong foundation on integrity to not be corrupted. So you're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff in life, and then that's connected back to Virgo. You're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff in life so you can ensure, so you know what it feels like so that you don't do that to other people as well. You know, so you might have people that's going to go into politics or the justice or the judicial system in some type of way, or law enforcement or things like that, where you're going to be able to be seen, because the Sun card came out and I'm seeing it right now, be seen in such an impactful way. And you're not going to do anything like that because you've gone through it. You know somebody's going to go through it. Your family done went through it, you know, whatever the case may be, but you know better. And you know better on a personal note, not from just seeing something on the news, but it was some type of dynamic that hit you on a very personal note. Looking at the puppy. So then you have the Six of Swords. Sleeping good, sleeping peacefully. The Knight of Wands in reverse. They're not going to be able to move passionate. They're not going to be able to keep that up. Clarified by the Justice. Justice coming out. Justice is in the middle of the Death in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. They're going to lose momentum real quickly. Very quickly. Because they can't fight the world. You can't fight the world. This is in reverse. They're going to have to give the fight up. You can't. How you going to take on the entire world? They don't have the strength for that, especially once it comes to a completion. And it's inevitable. It's inevitable. You cannot stop God's plan. You cannot stop God. You cannot stop God's plan. And the last will be first, and the first will be last, because everything is going to be returned. Everything is going to be returned. And we're going to be living in the Ten of Cups. Everything is going to be returned. And you're going through that hermit mode, and even them going through that hermit mode and really reflecting and seeing like what is going on in the world. Then it's going to really manifest on an even further level. Quickly, very quickly. With the Knight of Coins. All right. What demonic and negative energies and entities is around this situation? Ooh. I'm gonna say you get old when you start making sounds every time you move, and I really be catching myself doing that. It'd be so funny. All right, so you got the Page of Pentacles, Mars, teaches astronomy and liberal science, knows the virtues of precious stones and herbs, gives good familiars. Because okay, so here it is. You know, because they say astronomy is considered to be a hard science. It's up there with physics. Why? Because, you're actually studying the moves of the planets, and you can put it through the scientific method to be able to consistently test it and get, accurate responses from it, right? Accurate conclusions. But astrology isn't, because you're reading energies. How do you prove an energy? It's just like saying, proving God. You can, though. But you can. And they don't see it yet. But you can. You can prove it. You can prove it every single day that you wake up. You're literally living, breathing, walking proof. Look at a tree. Look at a rock. Look at a mountain. Look at the sky. Look at the weather. It's there every single day. But okay, maybe they need a little bit more proof to that when it actually comes to spiritual energies, and how the archangels and the ancestors and all of them, and how they move, and how they're able to do this, and how they're able to do that, and this and that and that and this. Look, hey, it's probably going to be, I'm probably talking to a future scientist out there that's going to be able to create something to be able to, because you can already take the thing that you're able to see what part of your brain is active. And they did that to the Long Island medium. And when she was getting a channel message, and certain parts of her brain lit up that on average day-to-day basis, the average human, it does not light up, because we just don't use that part of our brain. And it's going to be something that's going to be created that's really going to be able to prove it. And they're going to shit bricks. And look, and we're all helping create it by, doing what it is that we're all supposed to do every single day, regardless of what your path is, what it looks like. It don't have to be a preacher in the pulpit. It could be being a nurse being a nurse at a school, being a teacher at a school, being a farmer, being someone that landscapes, being an architect. It could be in any form, being a plumber. Any form. You don't know how God's going to use you. Or yeah, so the archangels that was around this, we got the Ace of Cups. Oh, okay. I forgot we got to read out these other two. You got the Three of Cups, Gusion. This, okay. Back to the demonic energies. Reconciles friends, tells of the past, present, and future, gives dignities and honors. I did not cross you out from the last one. Are you another one that does the same thing? Yeah, really trying to get people, but oh, let's just be friends. Oh, let's make bygones be bygones because they want you to sell out. But we not having it. This new generation, the generations that are currently in present, we not having that. We not, no. we no. We're not doing that. And that's all it is. Oh, let's just reconcile. Let's let bygones be bygones. No, bygones are going to be bygones once we break all the generational curses. And nobody repeats the nonsense that was repeated in the past before. Then, yes. But yes, it don't mean that I can't, I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to do anything. No, that ain't for me. That's for God to do. But this needs to happen first. The Hierophant, take accountability and do something that's going to actually create a positive change. So the last negative and demonic energy that's out, we got the Hierophant, or is, teaches astrology, the virtues of the stars and the houses of the planets and how to understand them, transfer men and dignities, finds favor with friends and foes. And there are people that do this, that do astrology and do all that, and they're going to try. So whatever it is that you are creating, whatever it is that you have created, whatever ideas, and it does deal with, more of the taboo things, other tools that were used in such a negative way that they even had to write it down in the dang Bible because people started to do bad with it. They started getting greedy. That's really what the whole little passage is about. It's about, people's like, hey, well, I'll be your guide and I'll tell you what's in the future. I'm not telling you what's in the future. I'm telling you what the current energy is, whether the past, present, or the possible future. How do you manifest? You can change the past by changing your perspective or your outlook or being able to be like, you know what? That situation did make me stronger. Gaining wisdom, taking something positive out of something bad. Manifestation, Seeing something in the present moment, like, I do still have the option, the choice to do whatever right here, right now in this moment. And then the hope for better days for the future. When people started getting greedy and trying to play God, that's why it got the connotation that it did get. Making us gotta work extra hard and stuff because other people that did something wrong. Okay, so now you got the Ace of Cups, the Archangels, Nethael. God, the King of Heaven. Rejuvenation, obtains the mercy of God and gives long life. You're going to live a long, fruitful, prosperous, blessed life. Blessed life. Especially with all these things, because justice is coming, y'all. Justice, balance is coming. The Six of, I'm not going to keep beating the dead horse. We done heard the whole message. You got the Six of Pentacles, Eladia, the favorable God, divine grace, cures rage and pestilence, absolves the guilty. Yeah, see, that's what going into hermit mode was about for them. Being able to really be like, dang, what did we do? What did, our ancestors do? What did they inflict? Like, that's not cool. No, we do need to step up and do something about this to change this and do this and do that. These two came out, these two did not, so we're going to leave them right there. Exactly. That's what it's about. Because it's not saying, hey, everything, because how they see it is that everything that's going to, if they continue, everything is going to come back on them in not a favorable way. But they all even them, they have the chance to be forgiven and still do something of good and still be on the right path. They just have to make that choice. We can't interfere with people's free will. You can't force them to change, to make a choice, to make an option. No, everybody has to walk what they are supposed to walk, how they're going to walk. And if it's going to change, then it's going to happen in God's timing. You can't force it. You can't push it in a direction. You can lead the horse to the water. The horse could walk back away. You just got to let it be. You plant the seed, you let the seed go. Because how faith and how the spiritual realm works, you can plant a seed and not water it, and then not water it for 25 years, and that person decides to rain, and then a little leaf starts to bloom. You know, and oh wait, hold on, let me see, it was planted 25 years ago. Well, let me water it and see what happens if I actually water it on a consistent basis. You don't know. God works in mysterious ways. You don't know. You don't know. So we have the Ace of Wands. Omelia, the patient god. Fertility and multiplicity. Protects against despair. Helps one be patient. Yeah, all we got to do is be patient and wait it out, because it's coming. It's coming. It is coming. We have the Eight of Favors. The Eight of Favors. Okay, all shucky ducky now. Unlimited favors. Look at that. Eight of Feathers. Jonah trapped inside the fish. He said, in my distress, I called to the Lord, and he answered me. From deep in the realm of the dead, I called for help, and you listened to my cry. Jonah 2:2. And that goes back to the whole message that came out at the beginning of this reading, is that they wanted the clarity and the understanding, and it's for a reason. And even in the midst of despair, if you do go and ask God, like, okay, well, why must I, read this book? And it was the same book that was used to condemn my elders, my ancestors, keep them as slaves and bondage, and it's still being manipulated by politicians. That makes me not want to, because human nature, we have the human nature to generalize. It's literally an instinctual reaction. We just have to learn how to respond instead of react. But before you get there, you're going to generalize. So that now those people are seeing, like, if this is what Christianity is, I don't want any part of that, because everybody that's saying that are all the ones that starting these wars, not doing right, creating laws that are unjust and unfair, spewing racism, prejudicism, and hate and unfairness. And so that's gonna make anybody, that's like you see somebody going to a restaurant, and everybody that goes into that restaurant that you are aware of come out with food poisoning, you're not gonna go eat at that restaurant. And that makes complete logical sense. The only thing is that restaurant is a part of a chain. That franchisor, is a franchisee. That franchisee that bought that store, they're not doing right. But you can't just take it and put it on, place that on the entire chain, because the entire chain ain't doing that. It's that particular restaurant that's ran by that particular people or group of people. So that you need to see it in that way. That's how you need to see it in that way. It's not the whole chain. So don't condemn the whole chain. Because just like we share, there is good and bad in everything. And people will take the most purest thing and turn it into something evil. And God works in mysterious ways. God could take something that was used for evil and use it for a miracle. Like, seriously. Just like when Moses was met at the ocean, that whole process of leaving out of Egypt was nothing but a miracle. It took something so evil and created a miracle from it. All right, so you have the 5 of challenges, the prodigal son. After he spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. Luke 15:14. Yeah, it's a famine. It's a famine. It's literally a famine of truth, a famine of God, a famine of a foundational belief system that people can trust and rely in, because of so many people doing so many things that just seems to just be the natural order of things within the world. Famines get caused by, global warming, this, that, negative energies and spirits back in the day, the form of a punishment. And you just talking about Moses and the Pharaoh, So it could be for whatever reason, he didn't spend everything. He didn't spend everything. Like, man, I didn't spend everything, and now there's a severe famine, so I can't get anything else. But a lot of times, those that were promised in the promised land, they started doing bad and wrong and things like that, Moses had to continue to walk for generations until that generation completely was dissolved. Until they were gone, they all died. They died out because they did so much. And it was like, no, you're not about to take the promised land, so you about to walk everybody around, because these fools, while you was praying and communicating, talking to me and getting instructed, these fools then did this and forgot where it was that they were going. I was trying to lead them, so now you ain't going. You have Temperance, Mary and Martha. Temperance came out. Come on, Libra, come on through. Bring that balance. Balance is coming. It's going to end the sorrows, the despair, the tears, the crying, the famines, and the diseases, the people going without. Because shouldn't nobody be homeless or hungry or not having water or dehydrated on this planet, period. It's really inexcusable. Nobody. The Six of Feathers, Ruth the Moabite. But Ruth replied, don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. See? And sometimes they just need that example. And look, you had to be the sacrificial lamb, and you're going to be the example. All right, come on, Virgo and Libra, because look, y'all reading is definitely connected. And what is this? 6, card number 6, balance. Again. You can't make this up. All right, what is the last card for the overall energy for Libra? We have miracles. I'm done. We got miracles. Miracles that came out. Ancient wisdom. Miracles that came out. Ancient wisdom. Card number 39. The Holy Trinity. Completions with the number 9. And then that brings you to 14. Being able to take a new step into creating solid foundations. 1 and 4. Then what is that? 5. Changes. Still, I see no changes. I wake up in the morning and I ask myself, it's sad that Tupac's song is still very relevant right now. It is. It's sad. Still see no changes. But, that's okay. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming, everybody. It's coming, Pac. It's coming. All right, Libra, until next time, peace.